Hello, my name is Andrea Kilgo, and I would like today to briefly discuss three parenting styles with you. I would like to start out with the authoritarian parenting style. This parenting style is characterized by strict parenting. It's more of a one-way communication. It is autocratic, militant, and very harsh. In this parenting style, reinforcement is very low. There's very little enforcement. Kids do good, but they are not rewarded for it. They can always do better. It's the parents' response to them. Oh, you did great, but. Oh, you did a good job, but. Oh, a 95 is good, but. There's always a but, and there's always the challenge to do better than they previously did. Also, with extinction, which is the non-physical punishment, there is a very decreased amount of this in the authoritarian parenting style. They don't believe in taking things away from the child, because they're not doing as they should. Because for the most part, children in this parenting style do well. They're taught rules, they're taught to follow rules, they're very disciplined children. And then we have punishment, which are, physical punishment. And this is very high in the authoritarian parenting style. Here, the physical punishment, there's high levels of punishment. The emphasis in this parenting style is on behavior, not on relationship. The parents don't spend a lot of time with these children. They don't take time with these children. There's no outward displays of affection. There's no There's no cuddling, no kissing, no hugging, no pats on the back of, I'm proud of you, son. Good job, daughter. None of that. It's always do better, do better, do better. And when they do better, there's no excitement or celebration for it because it's expected. They expect you to do well. So they don't feel like they should reinforce or reward you in any way because you did do a good job. This is a one-way communication parenting style. I'm the parent. I say do this. That is what's done. There's no back talk. There's no, I'm not going to do it. There's just, I say do it this way, and so that's the way it's going to be done. There's very low levels, as I said, of love and nurturing. They're not very affectionate towards these children in this parenting style. So the children lack that, and it shows up later on in life. And we'll talk about that a little later when I talk about how these children fare as they mature. There are excessive rules in this parenting style and maturity demands. Children are expected to operate, at a very mature level when they're really not. They are children, but they're expected to understand and to do things the proper way, the right way all the time. And there's excessive structure. There's very structured environment. They are, they don't step outside of the boundaries too much, because of the fear of the parents and because of the corporal punishment, the physical punishment that goes with this parenting style. The children are less apt to go outside of their boundaries, but to stay within the boundaries set forth by the parents. In this parenting style, they expect a lot out of their children. Children are expected to act a certain way, to be on a certain maturity level, and to operate in a certain way. As we look a little further ahead, we find that as these children of authoritarian parenting styles progress, their behaviors begin to change. Just to make it brief, from birth to 6 months in authoritarian, behavior is above average, and as they go on, we find that once they are 15 to 18, that because the emphasis has been on behavior more or less than affection and relationship, these children, they mature, they're very hardworking, but they don't have good people skills. because they are so structured, and it's this or that, and so they don't spend a lot of time with interaction and social, you know outward things. And they're very low on the socialization scale. They you'll find very light substance abuse in these children as they age. And also, for females, they develop depression and anxiety. And for males, they usually run into a little substance abuse. Most people are affected with this type, or not affected, but most people that utilize this type of parenting style are Asian and Native Americans. And that is all I have on authoritarian parenting styles. I like to briefly go over just some of the aspects of the second type parenting style, which is authoritative parenting styles. And this is more of a balanced parenting style. It is a two-way communication. It is democratic. They are more even. It's more than one person making the decisions. The parents and the children are more or less making decisions together. In this parenting style with reinforcement, and quickly, just so that we remember what reinforcement is. Reinforcement is, the rewarding children for when they do good, and and getting on them when they do bad. But the reinforcement part of it is this authoritative parenting style really believes in rewarding and complimenting their children. The child comes home and says, "Oh, Mom, I got a B on my final exam." And Mom is like, "Oh, wow, great." Instead of demeaning the child and say, "Well, you could have made an A if you would have studied harder." They would say something to the aspect of, "A B is great. I am so proud of you. Let's work harder next time, and let's see if we can't get you up to an A." But it's not threatened. It's not commanded. It's encouraged, in a sense. And also with extinction, which is their non-physical reinforcement or punishment. There's lots of non-physical discipline. The child steps out of line and does something they're not supposed to do, so you're going to take away their cell phone for a day or two. There's got to be some balance. A child has to be taught that when they have behavior that is not becoming, of them, their age group, and where they are, then there has to be some level of punishment. And the child understands that, because the parent actually talks to the child to say, "Do you understand where you did wrong? Do you understand why I find the need to punish you? Do you understand why you're not going to have your cell phone for a couple of days? I want you to understand that this is not to make you feel bad, but this is to help you understand that when you do things wrong, all actions have consequences. And I want you to know that and learn that early in life, so that your life will be better as you progress." And then with the punishment level in authoritative parenting styles, the punishment is a little less severe and a little less than with authoritarian. The physical punishment is low. It is a last resort. Okay, you're in timeout. That doesn't work. Okay, I'm going to take your cell phone. Okay, that doesn't work. Okay, you know what? You're going to need a little physical punishment. And some parents don't believe in physical punishment. So to that aspect, for those parents that don't believe in physical punishment, it may be something just a little more severe. But you start the child at the lower level and you work your way up. Because if you start at the top with the punishment, which is the most grave thing that you would do, then there's nowhere in between for different levels of punishment that are appropriate for what the child has done, right or wrong. And then, I want us to understand that in authoritative parenting styles, the emphasis is on both behavior and relationship. The parents' goals is to teach the child proper behavior and also to nurture a good relationship with their children. Excuse me. They spend lots of time with the children. They find time for the kids. They have time for the kids. They go out with the kids. They eat dinner with the kids. They get at the table and they have social gathering. They talk. So how was your day today? What happened in school today? Is there anything bothering you that you need to talk to me about? There's open dialogue between the parents and the children. It is a two-way communication. The parents truly consider the children's input. Children have to be given choices. Although all choices may not be considered, they have the option to bring forth their input to let you know how they feel about it and what they think could be a better way of doing things. And sometimes, believe it or not, children can come up with some pretty good ways of doing things that parents probably will not have thought of. So it's very important as we develop relationships with our children that we allow them to express themselves and have a say so. And you don't want to give them too many decisions or too much leeway in decisions, but you want to give them some input and how things are arranged and dealt with in their lives. There's a high level of love and nurturing in this particular parenting style. There's open affection, mom, dad, they hug, they kiss the kids. It's movie night. We're sitting up on the couch. We're all hugged up. We're watching TV. We're laughing. We're enjoying each other. We tell each other at the beginning and at the end of each day, that we love each other. And we're not ashamed of that. When these children have friends and family over and they're leaving for the day, love you, mom, love you, dad. Getting out of school, love you, mom, love you, dad. They have that open dialogue. They have that love and nurturing and affection that they don't mind showing because it is a part of what makes them who they are. And also there are moderate rules and maturity demands. I expect a 7-year-old to act like a 7-year-old, and I expect a 17-year-old to act like a 17-year-old. No, my 7-year-old may not know how to wash dishes, but my 7-year-old, first of all, can load the dishwasher. My 17-year-old should not have any problems washing the dishes. So you want to take them at the level they're at. And, like I said, there's moderate rules and regulations that they must follow, but you want to hold them to it and you are consistent. And what I've found with my research on authoritarian parenting styles is they're very consistent. They're consistent in the way they reinforce. They're consistent in their extinction, and they are consistent in their punishment. And they have appropriate demands for children. They don't expect a 7-year-old to act like a 17-year-old. They expect a 7-year-old to be a 7-year-old. And so that is the authoritarian parenting style. But before I go, I also wanted to let you know that in the authoritative parenting style, where their children sort of start off average from birth to 6 months with their behaviors, at the end of the day, when those kids are 18 years old, because their emphasis has been on both behavior and socialization, these children are mature, they are hardworking, they have good socialization skills, and they have low divorce rates, low substance abuse, and low mental disorders, lower health concerns, and this just continues throughout adulthood for these children. And the person that we see more in this type parenting style are African Americans. And then there's the last parenting style, which we find a lot of here in America, and that is the permissive parenting style. There are no rules, and they are not governed at all. Their reinforcement is high, good or bad behavior. They get lots of unearned reinforcement. They get everything they want regardless. They are a bad kid. They terrorize the neighborhood, but they want the new MP3 player that came out, or the new MP4, or they want those new Jordans. And mom is going to do whatever she has to do to make it happen. She's going to get that for them. Extinction, which is non-physical punishment, is almost nothing, because they are not punished like that. Their games are not taken away. The TV is not turned off. None of the things that the parents have gone out of their way to get for them are taken away from them when they are not acting inappropriately. Punishment is slim to none. There is very low levels of physical punishment, and usually when there is physical punishment is when the parents are at their wits' end, at which point it's no longer just physical punishment but borders pretty much on abuse, depending on who's looking in. The thing about this parenting style, these are what they call laissez-faire, very lax, very unstructured. They also have two-way communication. However, the child usually wins out. They usually have more voice than mom and dad. A lot of these parenting, a lot of the permissive parents are unfortunately single parents. And so they're trying to make up for what their child is missing by having a two-parent home. The emphasis here is on relationship, not behavior. They want to be their children's friends. They want to get along with their kids. They don't want the kids mad at them or anything like that. So they do whatever the child wants to maintain that relationship. They spend lots of time with their kids. You know, they're with them all the time because, again, they're trying to be their friends. This is a one-way communication in the sense that the child wins. It's a two-way communication in the sense that mom or dad or both do communicate with these kids. However, the children wins, which in their eyes makes it a one-way communication. There's very high levels of love and nurturing. There's open affection, and these children are loved, There are no rules, there are no regulations. They just do whatever they want to do. And these children are pretty much considered the life of the party. They are very well liked. They're very social. They know how to interact out in public with people. And just very well loved children. When you look at the results and how these children mature and how they end up, from birth to 6 months, they are the worst with behavior. They are the worst. They start very low. And as they progress in life, they get even lower, even lower, even lower. And these children become very bad citizens, I'm afraid. They are very permissive. They are found mostly in the Hispanic culture. And, as we've said before, the emphasis is on socialization. It's on, relationship. And so these children are very immature. They're very lazy because they haven't had to do anything to get all the gifts that are given by their parents. They have not earned any of the gifts that they've given. They're just given because they want them. But they have excellent socialization skills. They're very likable, and they have very high substance abuse, unfortunately. They have the highest divorce rates because their people skills. They're good getting along with each other, but they're lazy, and they're immature, and which doesn't work well when you're trying to get along with other people in the same household. And they have the highest medical concerns. There are other stages of permissiveness. I won't go over them. There's permissive indulgent, which is about 90% of America, believe it or not. And then there's permissive indifferent, which is a very small category, but they are truly the worst of all parenting styles. So it is very important that we take time to sit back and analyze the type parent that we want to be and the type children that we want to produce and nurture to be a part of society, because it is important how we treat our children. It is important the lifestyle that we provide for them and how we interact with them. And that is my lecture on parenting styles: authoritarian, authoritative, and permissive. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.